أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. We are going to speak today about the descent of the Prophet Isa ibn Maryam and the very important impact of his return on the evolution of the world and the place he will occupy in this period of Akhiru Zaman or end of time. Many in the Islamic Ummah believe that Isa's mission is limited only to the extermination of Dajjal and that he will then simply accompany Imam al-Mahdi in his governance of the world. But in holy history, there is a whole organization linked to this descent. After his descent, which will take place in Syria, the Prophet Isa alayhi salam will join Imam al-Mahdi in the seconds following his arrival on earth. They will do the dawn prayer together. The Prophet Isa alayhi salam has a very broad mission. His descent will happen through a special open route in the form of a tunnel between the world Ghaib, where he comes from, and the world Shahada, which is his final destination. It is through this path that he had taken during his ascent, and that he will return to earth accompanied by the angels who are part of his escort. The angels will return to heaven once their mission to accompany Isa is accomplished. Their ascent to Ghaib will always be through this tunnel, which is an inayat rabbani of lights, means of movement between the Ghaib world and the Shahada world. The inayat rabbani in question will also have a specific mission. In fact, this tunnel of light will transform into a ball of light with a multitude of light rays which will emerge from it. Each ray of light will target a cross in the Shahada world and break it into two. These crosses are those which bear the representation of the crucified Prophet Jesus. Theory of crucifixion, moreover, refuted by the Muslim religion. Before 9 a.m. on this special day, all the crosses supposed to carry the Prophet Isa alayhi salam have been crucified. Wherever they may be in the world, and whatever size they may be, will break in half. Such shall be the first message. Another very noble mission will also fall to the Prophet Isa alayhi salam. It is that which consists in saving the good sisters and the priests who are in the churches, the monasteries, and other places of worship of Christendom. These people with the heart of gold who help the needy, who work to improve the conditions and quality of life of the destitute, those people who try their best to make people happy. Isa ibn Maryam will therefore seek out those people who have done good works, but who unfortunately have not yet accepted the Prophet of Islam, Sayyidina Muhammad, peace be upon him. He will convert them to Islam and rally them to the cause of Imam al-Mahdi. These people will therefore, with the advent of Isa, have the opportunity to accept in their hearts the light of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, to accept Islam and to believe in the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and thus have a happy outcome at the end of their lives. Prophet Isa's mission will not end there. He will have to go through all the sites, all the places of worship where he was proclaimed at some point in history that he was the Son of God. He will deny the lies against him and set the record straight. He will demonstrate the oneness of God through the four dimensions of Surah Al-Ikhlas. قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ اللَّهُ الصَّمَدُ لَمْ يَلِدْ وَلَمْ يُولَدْ وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُ كُفُوًا أَحَدٌ. He will do so in such a way that people will understand the true reality, where the haqiqah is linked to the divine claim, which is essentially its purity and its oneness in its absolute reality. Still, throughout his mission, Isa ibn Maryam will teach his followers the converted Christians, that there is only one religious community before God. It will be based on the following divine word: وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا كَافَةً لِلنَّاسِ بَشِيرًا وَنَذِيرًا. Surah 34, verse 28. Despite the diversity of religious communities, despite the large number of sent prophets and messenger prophets, despite the diversity that exists within the Islamic Ummah itself, the Prophet Isa ibn Maryam will demonstrate everyone's belonging to one and the same identity group. This will be the reunification around the Prophet of Islam. This emerging community will be one and indivisible. Isa ibn Maryam will have to highlight the relationship between the Prophet of Islam and the other sent prophets. By what means should he do it? Through Imam al-Mahdi, who is, thanks to God, the representative of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, on earth. Imam al-Mahdi also represents all the prophets who went through the Shahada world and had a mission on earth. It is for this reason that all races, without exception, should join his cause. Solidarity, justice, and harmony will also be the key words of his mission. Solidarity will be highlighted in the process of his mission. Isa ibn Maryam will encourage his supporters to show generosity and a caring spirit. He will demonstrate that the Prophet of Islam had all these virtues. Indeed, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was friendly, sociable, generous man, and lived in harmony with the members of his community, and even with those who weren't part of Islam. Imam al-Mahdi is the Prophet's reflection in every way. The companionship between Imam al-Mahdi and the Prophet Isa ibn Maryam will be concrete proof that there is only one and the same community, despite the different messengers, despite the diversity of races, and that there is only one religion, which is Islam. The Prophet Isa in his mission will facilitate the connection between the word Ghaib and the word Shahada to his disciples. All those who adhere to the mission of Imam al-Mahdi will also have their relationship with the word Ghaib simplified. No more curtain will remain for these. The Ghaib world will now be accessible. The Prophet Isa ibn Maryam will do so that a maximum of Muslims benefit from this privilege. He will also benefit those who, for a very long time, claim to be of his religion and who will have shown him unfailing devotion when he returned. For 7 years, he will lead his mission alongside Imam al-Mahdi, who will also run his own. When the well-guided Imam will no longer be of this world, the Prophet Isa ibn Maryam will continue for the 2 remaining years to live, guide and supervise the Ummah of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and also that of his followers who are converted to Islam and full members of the Islamic community. He will direct them in the right way and practice with them the precepts of Islam, namely the 5 prayers, the holy month of Ramadan, the pilgrimage to Mecca, zakat, and the profession of faith, which is to say, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu. Isa ibn Maryam's mission will be very rich and diverse. The part concerning Dajjal is certainly important, but does not constitute the essence of his mission. In the announcement of Isa ibn Maryam's return to earth, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said of him that he would break the crosses. He therefore alluded to all the divine organization with the Inayat Rabbani you mentioned at the beginning. A final organization linked to the mission of Isa ibn Maryam concerns the animal, that is the pig. At the time of his descent on earth, the Prophet Isa, from the word Ghaib, will be impregnated with a very particular perfume. Everything that will emerge from his body from this moment will have a certain uniqueness and will play an important role in the continuation of his mission. In fact, The drops of sweat that will pearl from his forehead to touch the ground of the Shahada world will invigorate nature and restore to its former greenery, and therefore make the soil more fertile. The particularity of his fragrance lies in the fact that the moment he sets foot on the world Shahada, it will spread across the entire surface of the earth to reach the nostrils of all pigs. And every pig that breathes this scent will die the moment they inhale it. And all this will happen the morning of his descent on earth before 9 a.m. The mission of the Prophet Isa ibn Maryam is a mission rich in events, and it of course has a universal vocation. We have reached the end of this presentation. All these revelations are drawn from the teachings of our honorable guide, Khutbul Akhtab al-Kabir, Mawlay Sayyidi Muhammad al-Shakh. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu.